Hello, everybody. We're back for some more 3D modeling. I got to come up with a better name because it's not Maker. I think I'm going to move away from Maker Tuesday because I'm not streaming on Tuesday anymore. I think instead I'm going to, I don't actually know because like Maker Day doesn't have the same like punch. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Kind of on the fence about that. As always, just let me know how the audio is as we start. Oh god, it's freaking me out that it just stopped. Hold on. Okay, that's part of the song. All right, I was freaked out there for a sec. So today I have. Oh, I gotta put up the reference too. I forgot about that. So today I'm doing something kind of unique. I don't think it'll take the whole day, which is why I have actually two things planned. The first thing is kind of Miku related, or not Miku related. It is a Miku model that I'm making. And then the second one is completely unrelated to Miku, but I kind of wanted to see if I could get away with doing it today as well. If not, I'll do it off stream and you'll just see about it because I've been doing some modeling like that off stream. But let me pull up the reference because I realized I forgot to do that. So, Miku. It's going to be like really weird. You're going to be like, what is this as a reference? But, so I have a couple Nendoroids. And one thing that I was like is like, oh man, I would really like to have a... Oh, you know what I did last time that I could do here as well is... Here, hold on. Let me do this, and then... Perfect. Okay. So I gotta bring back the paint. So you have the figure to make it Miku. It's Miku now. So I have the Nendoroid. What I want to do is I want to make like a stage for the Miku. But it also acts as a drawer for the parts of the Nendoroid, because the Nendoroids all come with like extra heads, extra accessories, that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking that it would be cool if the drawer went this way. And to fit with the reference, this looked like this, and it had like that. Like that. And then what would be kind of cool is I saw this thing online. Somebody had a jig where it's a roller like this. And you run filament through it, and it makes filament flat. And so what I do is then I could have a mic for her, like right here, at the front. I know she wears a mic, but I just thought it would be kind of cute, because she has a mic in Fortnite. And then in the back here, I could have some speakers, maybe. See, every stage that Miku performs on looks different, so I'm just kind of going for the vibe of Miku rather than a specific example. And I don't think I'll be able to hide a battery in it because I don't think it's going to be big enough. But it would be kind of cool if... Hold on, let me... Boom. Boom. So I think it would be kind of cool if I also had, like, lights right here. Like that. And then this in the back will also have the boom. Like that thing. Now, what I want to do is I want to have this back part have Miku on it in some way, but I don't exactly know how I want to do that. And then this will be for Gigi, because she has a Miku Nendoroid. I don't. But I have a bunch of Hololive Nendoroids. And so, yeah. So there's, oh, I could use that one thing to get a handle. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. So what I want to do is I want this shelf piece right here to be big enough to hold all of the parts, and that will lead this design right here. Let's change to highlight. So this needs to be big enough so that it can hold the shelf and hide the shelf. Also, the plan is to be able to mount this to the wall, but that I can do with like a command strip, so I'm really not that fretting. Like, I'm not fretting that much about attaching it to the wall. So that's the plan. In front of me, I have the Nendoroids, so I can measure them. I also want to make it kind of general so that it can hold a bunch of different Nendoroids. So gotta blow the dust off my Nendoroids. That's another thing. I want to like clean them. Just lay there. Okay, so I'm holding it up in space, but you guys can't see it. Oh, chat. I gotta pull chat up because I can't see if anybody is watching. There we go. I will put that right there. And then I need you. There we go. All right, now I can read chat and see my reference. Perfect. Okay. So most of the like general Nendoroids, I think there's like certain special exceptions, like the Hololive Nendoroids have like circle bases, but most of them have a square, like plastic clear base. And so that's what I'm going to be basing the design off of, is these plastic clear bases. Oh, I also have in a box all the accessories, which I'll grab. Okay, so the accessories, let's see. If I just did this, that's actually not a bad size. I think this is probably what I'll go off of then. There are some certain special exceptions, and those I'll have to make an exception for those. Like the Bochi Nendoroid has like an entire extra body, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. So let's base the shelf off of this thing that I'm holding in my hand. So the shelf itself, I'm gonna make, let's say 85 millimeters. Oh no, I want a center rectangle. So it is 85, and then this number is 65. Perfect. Now, it is how big? Let me take the lid off and see, because this won't need a lid, because the lid is going to be the stage then. I don't know, I like this idea. I've been stewing on it for a while. I just, you know, was waiting for the pieces to come together. I'm going to say 45. So it looks like this, kind of. I think this is a good size. Now, I want to offset it by 3 walls. So sketch 3 walls times 0.2. 3 times 2 is 6, so it would be 0.6. So I actually want to undo this and just offset this, 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 by 0.6. Now I will remove by 44.4. And that should be, that's going to be the drawer. Now it doesn't have a handle. That's one thing. Does it need a drawer? That's a great question. Let's think about this. So now I have the drawer. That's great. I wonder if I bevel these edges, if it will monkey with anything. Nope, it's gonna. That makes that really thin. I don't think I like that. So that it just kind of looks generic, but it's gonna be okay. So then what I need to do is I need to build the stage around it. So let me think about this. I want the stage to sit flush. Maybe have a little bit of overlap. No, I want to sit flush. And what does... So this rectangle I just defined is 85 by 65. So let's add 10 to each side. So that would be 105. And then 10 to each side of 60 would be, it's 65, so it'd be 75, 85. Perfect. And that's going to be the top. Now let me hold this up to the figure and see if this is too much. Too big of a base. Honestly, I think it's gonna look really good. I'm you know what? I'm cautiously optimistic about this. So let's see. So I want to only add, so this is 45. Let's come back to that. So this is a new object. Let's get rid of this and the stage. What does 5 look like? I think 5 is decent. How thick is the actual platform? See, the actual platform is about 8, so I think 10 is how thick we want it to be. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to make it pretty thick. And then in the middle, I'm gonna have to make a recessed point for the actual Nendoroid base. By the way, anybody who just joined, I don't want you to feel like confused, like what the heck is he doing? So I am making a base for my Miku Nendoroid that looks like the stage that you see in the reference picture at the bottom left. I'm taking some liberties because every single stage that Miku performs on looks different, and they look different in real life and in games and movies and stuff like that. So yeah. Let's do, I think 60 is probably a perfect number. Yeah, 60 is probably going to be perfect. And I might test the fit of this later by printing a smaller version. So 60 by 60. Perfect. Now I go into this and I want to drop it by 8.5. And that should give it just a little bit more. Now hopefully that doesn't give it a really ugly benchy hull line because I'm cutting out that big section there. I'll have to see. Crossing my fingers that it doesn't, but I'm not exactly sure. So this is where the Nendoroid is going to sit, like this. And underneath it, the shelf is going to go. So the shelf is going to be underneath it. Now, on this side, this is where these parts are going to go. The like actual supports that keep the stage up. And these I want to make 10 by 10 so that they overlap the shelf. Now they can't actually be 10, so I'm going to cheat it and make them 9.5, I think. So what I need to do here is like this. Oh wait, I could just, hold on. I could just make a corner rectangle. There we go. And make them 9 and... Let's make them 9.8, actually. Because what that will do is that'll actually give me 2 whole layers worth of play so that the shelf can slide in and out. And then... So that's where I want them to sit. I want them to sit flush with the edge. Like this. Let's... I feel like that's not big enough. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Alright, so this, and this. I need those to be equal. And then this, and this. I need those to be equal. Just to see how these are going to look. And I need these to be 46. So that actually doesn't look too bad. I feel like they should be just a little bit bigger this way. They can't be any bigger this way, but if you're looking at the stage head on, I don't think it'll matter. So I can kind of cheat the design a little bit of these. So let me undo that and go back into this sketch so that I can do exactly that. Because I set them equal to each other in separate steps, what I can do here, or at least I should be able to do here, is let's say I want to double them. So I want to make them about 18 would probably be the best. See, now that'll update all of them. Now, I shouldn't have deleted that extrude because I kind of want to see how it'll look at the desired height. That looks much, much better. So I think I'm going to keep them at this size. This way, the underneath part right here will look good. So these are extending out and past where the shelf actually is, so they actually cover up for where the shelf is going to be, which is perfect. And let me get rid of that extrude. That's the shape that I want. So then going back into this sketch, this is the actual dimensions of what the peg is going to be. It's going to be 18 by 9 and 9.8. But I need a hole that it can nest into. So I'm going to offset this rectangle. By, let's say 1. That's still pretty hefty, so let's do instead 2. I could probably get away with 3, because it does not need to be super duper strong. So that's going to be the hole that all of these are going to be based off of. So go back into the sketch, and I want to offset these inward. by 3. Now I'm still in offset, so I can click these. Nope, hold on. I need to do them individually, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. Now offset and do the same thing again. Three, perfect. Now click on these and offset the same amount. Now this sketch should be done. I want to go in here and I always like to make the hole a little bit bigger than what the actual, oh my gosh, what the peg is going to be to give it some space to slot in. So if I want this to be, let's say, like remove by 3, I actually want it to be 3.2 so that it gives 0.2 space because I want this to be flush. I want it to have a little bit of play so that when it slots in, it's perfect. So that's that. I don't think these sections will need, they are very, very small, all things considered. I don't think that they will need support. And if they sag a little bit, I'm not worried about it because it will be completely hidden on the final model. So that is the second part finished. Fantastic there. So now what I need to do is I need to make the actual risers that go on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this, but bring out this sketch. And so now what I want to do is I want those. I want to extrude them down. Actually, hold on. I could just do one of them. I don't need to do 4 of them. And I want this to be 46. And then, so this is a special trick that I want to do for this. Because I need, if I'm mounting this on a wall, like this, there's nothing here to stop the shelf from just falling through. And so because this is a rectangle, oh, let me change to a black marker. So because this shelf is a rectangle instead of a square, that was a bad square. This will overlap just a little bit with the shelf itself. So the shelf will actually be like right here. It'll be about halfway in at when it's perfect. So what I can do is I can actually add a like little shelf here to nest the drawer onto. So this will be the leg, and it'll have like a little shelf here for the actual drawer to go on. Now I'm going to build that. So I should have picked one of the ones on the top. So let me do a new sketch on top of there. And now what I want is I want another corner rectangle. I want to make sure that I'm selecting the right corner. And by hovering over this point on the rectangle and then going up, you see how it's dotted? That means it will lock it to that plane. So that's perfect. And I only need this to go out, let's say 2 millimeters. And in terms of how thick I need it to be, because I made it 46, I have 0.8 to work with. Now, I don't want it to be that close, so I think I'm just going to make it 0.5. So extrude this, flip the direction, and then do 0.5. It's only going to be a few layers, so it will be relatively weak, but it's just acting as a guide to hold the shelf. It doesn't need to be incredibly strong. You know what? Actually, I kind of lied. I want to add a little bit more reinforcement to this. So then what I'll do is I'll go into this and I will add 47. That will let me do an entire 1.5 millimeters. So here to the extrude, I want 1.5. So that will give it much more strength. Then what I can do is I can print all of the legs as is, and I don't have to worry about the I don't have to worry about all of this being support material, which should be really good. All right, going back in here to this in Sketch 5, I actually want to instead, let me hide this sketch for a second and make a new sketch. That way what I should be able to do is click on this, and then if I hide Sketch 5 again, so I have now copied that rectangle onto this sketch. Now remember, this is the exact size of the hole that this is meant to slot into. So if this slots in improperly, or if it's this size, it will not fit because the plastic expands a little bit. I like to undersize the male part by 1 layer, so for me 0.2, and oversize the hole by 0.2. So then I'm getting 2 full layers worth of clearance on everything that I model. I found that that gives a phenomenal level of play for the most printers that I've used. So the actual hole is this size. So what I need to do instead is offset this inward by just 0.2. 0.2. So then this smaller rectangle is the one that I will extrude up. And if you remember correctly, I'm just going to put this at, I think I did 3, so it's 3. But let me check. It would be this part and it's extrude 5. Yep, 3.2. So now those should slot into each other like magic. And then what I can do is I can have 2 of these that print identical, and then actually I can just print all 4 exactly the same, and they will all look like that. Now the only downside of this is that it doesn't have anything to stop the shelf from going, like, sliding out the other end. But the trade-off for that is I don't think I want to put a handle on this because I think you'll see the handle. So that way you can push it in or out on either the right or the left side. But the front and back, this being the front, this being the back, will hold the shelf in place, or the drawer in place. So I think that that's exactly what I want. So now I want to get rid of that, and I want to add the X pattern onto the front of the stage. So I'm going to make a new sketch. Whoop. I keep misclicking. So today's featured thing has been the offset, apparently. Okay. And this is just aesthetic, so the numbers don't necessarily matter. But let's see what 3 looks like. That seems to be a little bit too harsh. So let's do 2 instead. 2 seems to be perfect. See, when I press enter, I accidentally... I don't mean to keep pressing enter. Let's connect this down. Like that. Perfect. So now what I would like to do is I am going to make... what's the best way to do this? So I think I would like to split it into... a section of 4. So let's dimension this. That is perfectly 45. That is actually really good. So let me go into my calculator. 45 divided by 4 is 11 and a fourth. That's not bad. I don't like that a ton. Let's do 45 divided by 3. That's 15 exactly. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So then I want to make 3 construction lines. 1, 2, 3. I like to purposefully undersize them so that then when I dimension them, they don't get all wacky. 15, 15, and then the last one will automatically be 15. So it, yeah. See how it turned? So for those of you that don't know, when a dimension turns gray like this, see how this one is black? I typed in this number. This is 15. Because this is 15 and this is 15, and this right here is because I clicked 1, 2, and then clicked this bottom one, this top line and this bottom line are actually anchored to these 2 points. So if I ever change this in the middle, let's say to 20, it will only change this bottom one because this bottom one has to make up the difference between this middle one and this top one. And that is because it's gray. Because I couldn't make all of them 16 because between here and here is 45. So it just mathematically can't work. So that's why it does that, which I think is cool. You can use it to your advantage. So in order to make that X pattern, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box. I'm going to make the X in the middle and then offset it and clean it up in the middle so that it works. But I need to make these rectangles, and I'm using what's called a construction line. That's what that dotted line is, because when the model is finally made, it won't actually use these as real lines. They are just so that I can build off of them. So like I said, here's these X's. Looking good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this by 1 in each direction. That means the total piece is offset by 2, which will make it equal to these pieces on the side. Or at least it should. So that's good. And then what I need... I hit escape instead of enter. So now those are good. And I want to offset this by... I meant 1, not 2. 1. I just said it, and then I screwed it up. One. Enter. Enter. And then offset this over here by 1. Now, in order to clean this up, what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll cut these lines so that I just get that X shape. Hold on. Let me keep this just for a second because I'm not sure what I want to do on this corner. Whoop, I need to be in cut mode. So those are looking good. Now I want to go down here and do the same thing. So offset this by 2 or 1. Gosh, I keep messing that up. That's good. Now offset this the other way by 1. Offset this by 1 and offset this the other way by 1. Whoop, not 12, by 1. Okay. So in here, I need to cut here, 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 and here. Sketch could not be solved. I'm going to keep cutting and see if it fixes itself. Here, 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 here. Nope. Something's up. It's not liking... That is really odd. I'm going to keep going and act like I am not seeing that issue. What I might have to do instead is get this diamond pattern and just repeat it. Because it looks like it's really not liking... What the heck is this line? Get this line out of there. Oh, now it has no issue. Why does that look off? Anyway, back to doing what I was doing. Cut this, and cut these. Perfect. Cut that, and can't do any more cutting for right now. So then offset by 1, offset by 1, offset by 1. You're supposed to be 1. There we go. And then offset by 1. Now, oh, that's a good point. So you see how this looks like it should be cutting it off, but because I don't have anything drawn there, it's actually not. So I need to draw another line there so that I can properly cut this. So cut that there, 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 there. Perfect. Here, here, here. There, 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 there. And trim these. Gosh, I love the trim tool. It helps me so much. And I guess I'm also getting rid of these lines by accident, but that's just kind of going to happen, unfortunately. If it needs me to, I could go back and define those. Down here. I do not know what that is, but... Go. There we go. Come on. There we go. So... I think that's looking good. You know what? To give this more depth, I'm actually going to undo what I just did. With cutting these. Because I have an idea. Okay. So now I have the pattern on one side. So I am going to finish that sketch, and I would like this to be... I think I only want it to be at most 2 layers. So I'm going to extrude this out to be 0.5. Now I'm going to bring back that sketch, and this crosshatch that I did, I'm going to extrude that by 0.2. And it's going to give it a... Ooh, I like that. It's going to give it like a depth effect. So that's going to look great, I think. Now what I could do is in here I could make these faces black, but I don't think I really need to do that right now, but I will. Edit appearance of 10... Edit. That looks sharp. That looks so sharp. So this face, actually, edit appearance for part 3. I'm gonna make it all gray. Let's give it like a nicer metallic look. Ooh, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. I really like that. That's looking good. Bum, 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 bum. This music is ballin'. What the heck? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, So here, same thing as last time. The offset command, and I only want the offset to be 2. Yeah, I'm gonna keep 2. One, 2, 3. This is such a throwback of a song. And that one, for some reason, didn't turn gray. That's a little bit worrying. We're just going to kind of ignore that for right now. So... now I want to go in here and do the same thing as last time. You know what? I don't think I like it being that. Why is that 15 and not connecting? I knew it. I knew I was going to have to hack it somehow. Make up that extra millimeter. There we go. And then I need to offset these by 1. Or no, by 0.5. This music is so bloopy. Perfect. It sounds like the 3DS menu music. Hold on. Main theme from Nintendogs. Weird. Okay. Anyway, back to this. With chat there. Okay, you, and I need to offset you up by 0.5. Alright, you're ready. Now you. Is there a way to... oh no, there isn't a way to offset. Now 0.5. And that's good. Now offset this. And do it the same way. 0.5. This. Set it by 0.5. And do that by 0.5. Perfect. 0.5. Offset this by the same amount. Okay. Whoop. .5, not 5. Okay, now this is all ready to go. I need to add this at the end. Great. Now let's cut you, 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 you. Perfect. Trim up this area. Great. Trim up that area. That looks good. Now trim up this area. Boom, 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 boom. And cut these. All right. Trim this. This mix is pretty good. We haven't heard these songs before. go. And then trim these. Okay, that's looking good. And now to extrude it. So extrude this out by 0.5. And then bring back the sketch so that I can do this and extrude it by 0.2. And like last time, get rid of the sketch. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, that looks sick. Now, it does look a little odd that it's... I need to bring this down. Offset this by 1. Perfect. And then I need to cut all of this out. This sounds like that one song from Hamilton. That looks pretty good. I like that. Now, I don't think I can just copy it and mirror it. So I think I'm going to unfortunately have to redraw this whole thing. But because I've already built it, it shouldn't take too long. So I want to offset these two by 1. Okay. Sweet. I keep hitting that and then it's not the right thing. And I need to offset this top one by 2. Offset this top line by 2. That's good. Trim all this crap out of there. And we're chilling. Okay. Now what I need to do here is make these construction lines 1, 2, 3. And then define them. So it's 15, 15, and that should be 15. Perfect. Okay, more construction lines. That didn't come out as a construction line. Okay. Now I make the X. X. Of course, this one comes out construction line. What? No. Circle? No. Pickle? No. Pickle. I don't want no damn pickle. Okay. And age-old story. Offset command by 0.5. Offset command by 0.5. Offset this by the same amount. Perfect. .5. Ah! .5. All right, there we go. Now we cut all of these to trim it up. There we go. Sorry, I zoned out there for a second as I was cutting these. Perfect. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that makes it so much easier. I can't cut those yet. Because I forgot to do this. Now I can cut them. Oh, that makes that so much easier. You learn something new every day. Okay, finish that sketch. Extrude this out. 0.5. Perfect. Bring this back. And then extrude this out by 0.2. And then get rid of this, and boom, 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 boom. I feel like something's wrong with this one. I feel like something's wrong with this one. Can I... How do I fix this? I guess I'm probably just gonna have to redo it. Let me... Damn, that sucks. Okay, new sketch. Oh, this sucks. Off. Oh my god, what is it called? Offset, my beloved. Bum 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 bum. So, fun fact about this song. So this is from Mario Kart Wii. And as you get closer and closer to the race, the song actually gets more intense. Perfect. You'll hear like more instruments. Gosh, this is such a nostalgic song for me. That should be gray. No? Okay. Kind of how my day's been going there. 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 Perfect. There we go. Da da dun 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 dun. Now put it the other way. what a good song. I've been hearing too much of the same song every time I stream. That song is like really good. See, like this is another example. We've heard this this is from Animal Crossing, right? I gotta make sure this is from Animal Crossing. Yeah, this is Animal Crossing New Leaf. We've heard this one a couple of times, so it's not as surprising, but that last one was really good. I mean, it's from Mario Kart. Wait, it's really good. Really good Mario Kart. 0.5. Perfect. Now I want to go through and cut these. Now what I can probably do is whip a Nene through these. Perfect. Boom. Now I'm becoming an expert at this. Look at that cutting skill. Perfect. All right, perfect. Okay, we got that. Now we go back here. This, I need to extrude it out to 0.5. And then bring this face back, and this gets extruded by 0.2. And then get rid of that sketch. Oh, that looks so sick. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Oh, first off, I want to make part 2. Wait, why is that off? I'm gonna have to move the peg. This part 2. I want to edit the appearance. Edit appearance. Come on. Edit appearance. There we go. I want to make it like a brown. Do I not have a brown already in here? There we go. That's way lighter than what I want to do, but I might actually do a color swap for this one where the first, it's split into thirds, and in the middle it does like a brown color, but the edges are the same gray, so they line up. Now let me insert part 2. And I want to insert 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's good. I need this piece. Fastened mate, this piece to that. You know what? I don't want to deal with this. What the heck? Why is it off? How much is it off by, I wonder? It's probably like 0.5. That's what it is. It's probably off by 0.5. So I'm just going to go back here and... Yep, it's off by 0.5. Wait, why did that make it a new part? extrude, no, add, and I don't get that either. Why is it acting so weird? 0.5. Of course. I'm gonna have to do all of these separately. Now extrude this by 0.5. Extrude this by 0.5. And extrude this by 0.5. Now, I shouldn't see it. Yep, that was it. That was the issue. So now if I go back here, they sit flush. Now why? Oh, there. You can see the play, the 0.2. That's the play in there. You can see them overlap. So that shows you exactly what I was talking about. That's the amount of space that I'm giving the printer extra, is this little tiny sliver right there. And if it doesn't fit snug, no. So this little play right here will let the printer be snug. So this part right there. So let me do another fasten mate on that. Perfect. And then I want to do another fastened mate on you. And I need it to flip. Nope. Like that. Alrighty, look at that. Oh, yeah. And then I need this to be edit appearance. I need this to be the same gray, which I believe is that gray. If not, I'm just going to do it as a separate gray so you can actually like tell the difference. But I'm going to insert this. And it is going to fit slider mate. Hold on. Let's do a... Yeah, let's do a slider mate with this. Slider mate. Between that and... That is not at all what I wanted. I'm just gonna have to do this by hand, I guess. So I want it to be like right there. So that's how it's gonna look. And then I wish I could just pin this and have it slide like... And that's how it's gonna work. Look at that. Yo, that is sick. I'm so excited. This is looking really good. And you can kind of like nest them in the middle. Yo, that looks... I'm so excited. I'm hyped. I could make the basket out of a silk and then the rest of everything as a gray, or vice versa, to give the shelf a little bit of a different color, so it doesn't just look like a block of the same color. But yeah, no, that's it. That's sick. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking I can put the actual stage itself through up there. Oh, let's design the accessories for the stage. So I want to do some lights in the front, so like here, here, and here. And I think I literally just want to make them pyramids with little yellow in the middle. So let's go back to here and get rid of all of these. So new sketch, and let's make them like 5 millimeters. I think that'll probably be good. Well, so let's make them 10. And then that's good. Now I want to extrude that up by 10. And then I want to get rid of the planes, and I want to make a new sketch. And I'm going to cut through the middle right there. Good. That's good. And this I want to remove. Perfect. So that's what this is going to look like. Ah. And then on this face, zoom to fit. I didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to do this kind of the hard way because it's at a weird angle. Like that. And then these should connect at a point, but I think that it's gonna play kind of coy with me here, so I'm gonna have to go like this to get a point. Yep, there we go. Now make a circle like that. I think 7's it. So I want to make the whole 7.2. And I want to extrude this back. Let's just do 1. Even 1's a little bit much. Let's just do 0.5. And that'll be our light. And then, oh wait, hold on. Let's make it 0.6. And then I can make the disc 0.4. So then what I need to do is 7. Let me write this. So it's 7 by 0.4. So that should give me enough that I need. Now I bring back the planes, do this, new sketch, get this out of my way so I can actually see. And I want this to be 7. And this extrudes up at 0.4. So it is a very small puck. Now I want this to be edit appearance. I want this to be like a transparent yellow-ish kind of look. That is looking good. And let's just make it just... I know what plastic I'd like to make this with, so I'm just going to make it bright yellow. I have a clear yellow. Actually, I haven't shown that off on the channel yet. But anyway, I want to make it like this. And then I want this to be black. So I'm going to edit appearance and make it black. All right, let's go back here and insert one of this and one of this. And then, good. I want to fasten to mate that to that. And that is what our speakers are going to look like. Our little tiny speakers. Maybe I should add some screws on the end to give it something, some extra depth or something. Or these are the lights, sorry. Right. Is this... I don't know if I like these. I want it to look more so like a stage light. Here, hold on. Let me look up a reference picture of a stage light. Well, I don't know. Let me pull up the... Let me zoom in on this and see. Maybe the stage lights aren't even a great idea. Maybe instead I could just do a bunch of colors. As like pucks. I think it should be more complicated than this. I don't like... Okay, I'm gonna delete all of this stuff. I don't like those. What? I want that, to keep that. I think I want them to be... Oh wait, cancel. I just want to erase this stuff. Because I've already built it. Come on. Okay. Now I need my pencil. So what I'm thinking is instead I can do a like rounded cylinder like this that has the puck inside of it, and then have it be on like stilts. And I can like angle them towards the stage. So let's build that instead. I could make them the same size though. Wait, which face am I right? Oh, I'm drawing on the front. So let's do these like this. All right. Oh, you know what? I should draw it as a thing and revolve it. So let me get rid of this. I want this. Like that. I want it to be rounded, and then I want it to have a beveled edge. So... No, I want it to be taller than it is wide. So this is 15 and this is 10. That looks a little bit too bad, so let's do 12. That's perfect. Okay, now I want to round these bottom edges. Where's my bevel tool? Okay, that's good to me. And then fill it that side as well. Now I want to bum bum. Perfect. So now I should have this and that. Perfect. Revolve. I gotta pick this stuff to revolve. And then I want the revolve axes to be this. What is the issue? Yeah, new surface. What's the issue? Revolve would create self-intersecting part. What would be the intersecting part? Maybe that's it? Maybe I have to leave it open? But that doesn't make any sense. Does that fix it? That's so weird. Why? Why did I have issue with that? Okay. Let's get rid of the planes and new sketch. So I actually don't want to, I don't want this to have to be, maybe supports aren't too bad. 0.6. That was what we talked about. I forgot to... I'm so stupid. I forgot to remove it. It's 0.5 or 0.6. And it goes back that way. Merge scope? No merge scope selected? What do you mean? Onshape, what are you... Why are you tweaking? What did I do to deserve this? What the... No merge scope. What are you talking about? What the hell's a merge scope? What in the world? Am I going crazy? What's the... What? Merge scope. The hell is a merge scope? All right, hold on. I gotta look up what a merge scope is. I've never heard of it. At the top of the extrude, there's a merge options. New, add, subtract, intersect. If you don't want it to merge with anything. If you want to merge the extrude with another part, you need to select the parts that you want to merge with. That is so weird. Face up. Alright, let's just... Wait, this is not registered as a part. That's why it's having so much trouble. Okay, hold on. Delete, delete, delete. It's having so much issue with this sketch. Why? What is it having an issue with? Well, I want revolve. New. That's so weird. Why? Why is it having an issue with that? That's so odd. I've never seen that happen before where it just had an issue. Anyway, back to actually what I wanted to do. I keep putting in the wrong number. That's my bad. And then a trick that I found with this to make it so that you don't need any supports is... Wait, how much did I actually... 0.6? You know what? This is a small piece. I'm just gonna let it have supports. It's not worth the amount of effort to do that. What I could do... Damn, I'm getting all these ideas now. Dang, I'm getting all these ideas. Okay, so the puck that goes in it, the actual light, let's make that next. So that was 8. So it needs to be 7.8 by 0.2. It's very small. And change this to yellow, and change this to black. Perfect. Now go to the assembly and insert you and you. Now when I fasten mate this and fasten mate this, I think that's the perfect size, TBH, be honest. Now, then what I need to do... Whoop. Now, I can go here, and I'd like to tilt it like 45 degrees. Wait, what's 25 look like? What does 45 look like? Oh, that's perfect. Now I want to... Can I spin it like this way? No. Yeah, I want to spin it like 45 degrees this way. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though. I can't like twist it because it's not gonna do anything. Damn. Okay, imagine that it's spinning in a good direction. This is basically what I'm thinking. Like that. That'll look so cool, dude. And then I could take a little bit of filament and just make like a wire from it. Oh, that would look sick. And I could mirror it. All right, so I like that. This is a success, but I want to edit it just a tad bit more. So I'm actually going to change the appearance to be like a gray, because it's so hard to edit when it's not, when it's black. So how do I want to shave this bottom off? Offset plane. Actually, I think that's perfect. Make a new sketch on here. Just make it like that. And then good. Extrude, remove, and we're good. Get rid of those planes. So that now can print like this. So I actually don't need any supports on that side. And I think it'll look okay. We'll see. Okay. Oh, I just got a text. Hold on, I gotta read this. Actually, I think that's probably going to be perfect. All right, 3. Perfect. I just got an idea. I just got an idea. All right, hear me out. Keep it at 3. Oh, this is a beautiful idea. Hide this. Oh, I can't wait. Extrude, then add part 3 back. No, part 4 back. Symmetric. Remove. Okay. All right, hear me out. So I just removed that hole in the middle. That should be the perfect size for a little bit of 2.85 millimeter filament. So I should be able to then have an axle so that the thing can actually swivel. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay. All right, hold on. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to make the legs for this, but they're going to be a separate part. Man, this is going to suck to print because it's going to be so many like little tiny parts. I hate printing shit that uses little tiny parts like that, but it's necessary for this. Okay, and then I need to make this 4 by 5. That does not look right. 6, 7. All right, and then extrude this. Let me think. That's kind of thick. Let's do 2. And then a new sketch on top. That is almost perfectly 2. And if I make the okay, I think I need to make it taller. Let's just make it 10. And then I need to raise this up. So 2, 3, 2.5. There we go. Now knock this hole out. Remove. Good. All right. Now let's, just like last time, I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to make them both like a silvery color just because I am having trouble seeing them. So that is what I was worried about. So I won't be able to tilt them. But you can just imagine that it'll be tiltable. Okay. Here, 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 and here. God, these parts just, like, they make me uncomfortable by how small they are already, and I haven't even, like, actually built it. So I need this as a fastened mate. There we go. To this as a fastened mate. I don't know why that fastened mate is so... How do I fix? Nope. I don't think I'm gonna have. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to visualize this in Onshape. Assembly files suck. I hate doing them. Then nope, it's about to fasten the body to the leg instead of what I actually want. Ah, stop doing that. Sure, whatever. Oh my... Ah! Okay, so it looks weird. Let me get it into place, and then I can fix it. Oh my gosh, it's almost in the back. Okay, so I gotta fix this. Oh my gosh, look at how awesome that is. Oh, that's sick. That is so sick. All right, can I doubt I can, but I don't think I can duplicate them. But just imagine that I did. And that there's two on either side. That's sick. Oh, I love that. Oh. Okay, in the reference picture, she has a stage behind her as well with a... Oh, you know what? I actually have some depth that I can work with because the actual figure is going to sit here. So all of this space I could actually turn into like a stair-stepping effect and on top put the speakers. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now what I might do is I might convince Gigi to draw me the Miku face that's in the reference that I have so that I can import it as a picture and emboss it. Let me get rid of these. So I want to be this by this, so I need to measure that. Whoop, not part 1, part 2. So let's just get this measurement. Of course, it's going to be like, oh, I can't do that because... All right, 106. Actually, I want to make it on the front plane because there's nothing there that I can mess with. So it needs to be 106. And what is the height? So let's do 80 and see what that looks like. Nah. Let's look at 110. I know it's going to be 100. I could round it off to 106. That it looks much better to have it be 110. So let's make it a 106. Let's add 10 to it. Who cares? Perfect. So this is the whole size that the thing is going to be. Now, to make it look nice, I'm going to make it like I did with the feet. So the shape that the feet had was... I think it was 10 on each side. No, it wasn't 10. It was like double that. Let's see, 20. I think it ended up being 18. Yep, it ended up being 18. Just about perfect 18, right? No, it was 18 something else. Let's see at this reference. Let's not make it the same as the feet. Let's make it 15. And I am going to go like this. And then I need it to be the same over here. Like that. Perfect. Like that. Awesome. And then I want it to go like boom, 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 like through the whole thing. So this distance right here is 101. Now, let me think this through. Okay. So I want to offset this by 1, and I don't need this, and yeah, that's all I need. Oh, that's right. I also need to shorten the sides. So maybe I could add an extra 2 millimeters. No, because everything I shrink it, it's gonna... Let's just see. Hold on. Let's just see how it looks. So then I need to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this needs to be 5. 25, 25, and then this should be 25. Perfect. So that looks very skinny already. I might have to make these 20 instead, which would then... Oh, but they're not X's. They're just a zigzag. So it could go from here to here, to here, to here. See, it doesn't line up. It's off. It needs to be 1 extra. So I would need to... I need to divide it by 5 instead. So my calculator... 20. Okay. So then I need to go... So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they each need to be 20. Okay. And then I want to do this. Do this, and then I can do the same pattern going across the top, or hopefully across the top. This side can also get the exact same thing, so I could do this. Okay, sweet. And then this. It's like right there. Hopefully these look close enough. That's off by quite a bit. I'll have to shrink these by like 1 to kind of try and cheat it. Okay. Hopefully nobody notices that I had to do that there. So then this goes up here, down here. Like that? Is that what that does? Yeah, no, that's what it looks like. It looks kind of weird. But now I need to offset everything to get the actual shape. So, let's do that. Offset. See, I wish I could just get these. Offset this by 2. And then offset. Do I have one on the center? I do. Fantastic. I'm gonna have to delete these, aren't I? Okay, and then I want to offset these by 2. Okay, and I'll trim these up. Why did it cut that last one? That's weird. Perfect. Huh. It really hates these lines for some reason. That's so weird. Okay. Well. Anyways. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Alright, and then I need to... this is going to be such a pain. So I offset it by 2, so it's 1 offset on each side. The other way, and then 1, and then this gets offset the same way. 1. Perfect. Now you offset by 1. Come on, 1. There we go. This be 1. Perfect. Okay. Now I want to fix these. Perfect. Okay. I know it's just like bias, but I feel like I'm making these. Come on. Ugh. Ugh. Ew. Gross. And then let's clean this up. So, cut, cut, cut. And cut, 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 cut. Perfect. Oh man, all of these are gonna act like this now, aren't they? You know what? Whatever. Get trimmed, stupid. There. Now I can actually fix these. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Now to do the top. This part is like the worst. I wish I knew of a better way to do this. If anybody watching knows of a better way to do this, please let me know. I don't even think I'm going to get to... well, I might be able to finish this. I think the actual back of the stage is going to be the last thing. Bum 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 bum. Hold on, what is this from? It's no. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Ba 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 ba. You're kidding. Flow chart from personal trainer cooking? There's no way. No, it has to be from... It's literally the Mario 3 song. There's no way. Okay. Anyway, back to this. I'm getting distracted. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I forgot to mention this for like the bulk of the stream. So what it looks like on your screen might look a little bit stretched because OBS stretched the image a little bit weird. So if it looks like I'm modeling everything like off slightly, that's why it looks that way. But trust me, on my screen it looks totally normal. I think it's looking good. Although, oh wait, I gotta cut these as well, so this is all one shape. Okay, you. I keep like reorienting myself and seeing how much stuff I still have to do, and I'm like, ah! Okay. Now let's go in and cut these. Okay. Okay. I think now the stage is set. Ha 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 ha. Got him. Okay. You. Oh, I'm gonna have to click all these individually. Ew. Woo! Sweet. I'm just gonna put it as the 25 because I actually don't know the number off the top of my head. What I want this to be. So 13. That's how much I want it to be. 13. Perfect. Look at how good that looks. That is sick. I'm so proud of that. So then on the bottoms of these, same thing as last time. New sketch on the bottom. Oh, that's a good point. If I print these, I don't want to have to put supports. Screw it. I'll just put supports. I don't really care. Sounds good to me. Two. Looks good there. You know what I could get away with? I just thought about it. On one of the angles, I could chamfer it by 2 millimeters. And it would probably still fit, and it wouldn't require any supports. I just realized that. That is... Huh! Oh my gosh, I just realized that. Yeah! Oh my gosh, now I can have it fit. So I have to look at this sketch and look at these dimensions. Because I need the hole to be a little bit bigger than that. So it's 11 by 9. Let me write that down. Okay. Save that. Now, what I want to do here is I want to insert... Oh, no. Insert just this newest part, which is this bottom one. And I want to... So that's pretty close to what I want. Oh, dude, this is looking so sick. I'm so excited. And the best part is I can copy and paste this for Bochi, but just do a different like background. And I think it'll look perfect. Okay. So I need these as the kind of outline and then the square. So that's good. So then I need to turn this off and go to U. New sketch. I need a corner rectangle, not a center rectangle. U. I need to define how... Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure these are 15 by 15. 15 by 13. Okay. 15 by 13. So that's what I need on this new sketch. This is 15 by 13. That's the... one. Okay, perfect. So then I want to offset all of these faces. I offset it by 2 on the last one, but I want to give it 0.2 millimeters of clearance. So I will instead shrink this to be 1.8 instead. So it'll actually be a little bit bigger. And then I want to remove this by... I think I said they were 2. Yes. 0.2. Perfect. Okay. Now, what I realized is I need to fix these a little bit. So let me go to those. So this sketch... Nope. Ah. I keep getting these sketches mixed up. So 2.2. That'll give me 0.4 actually. And then the extrude that comes after it, I want this to be 1.8, which then makes this chamfer And same with this one. 1.8. Actually, hold on. Just get rid of this chamfer. Open up this chamfer and add that one. There. Now, it saved me a step. Okay. Now, I just need to replicate that on this side. So, I need to open back up this sketch. And I need to duplicate that rectangle. So let me put that where you guys can see it. And boom. And then let me define these. So it's 15 by 13. And then I offset it by 1.8. Now I want to open the sketch back up. Actually, hold on. I want to open this back up and include that so then they're the same. Get rid of that sketch so I can see. It should be good. Let's go back to the assembly. And now what I should be able to do is this corner with this corner. Oh, actually it should have been this. Get this shit out of my face. Feel free to mate. Alrighty, look at that. There we go. Now I just need to make this inner part, and I'm done. So I want to make it the same thickness, but it'll like come out. So. Okay, back to here. So I need to go to this sketch and I need to get dimensions for what this is. So this is 76 by 101. So that would be 76 by 101. And I want to decrease it by 0.4 to make up for the difference. Get rid of these parts. Build on this sketch. And center rectangle. And it's 76 by 101. So this would be 75.6. That would be 76. Yeah. And actually, you know what? I'm going to decrease it by quite a bit because in the picture it seems like there's quite a bit of a gap. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going to leave it. And then this is 100.6. So that should fit pretty exact. I want the first like third of it. It's 100, so I'm just gonna split it to be 33. This to be this to be 33.333 repeating. That's 1/3 of that number. Cut over like this. And then it's 33. So calc Okay. All right. Now we're going to do something a little crazy. Hopefully this works. Oh, no. Never mind. 5.5. No. What? No, I want the linear pattern to be like this. And then this be 0. And let's do something crazy like times 20. What the... What just happened? This is not what I want. Why is it so hard to just draw a bunch of lines? My lord. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna have to do this the long way because I can't figure out a way to do it easier. I don't know if I really like these. That's probably more realistic than this. And I don't think I'm going to be able to split this one. That's probably good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is 13. So 13 divided by 7 is almost 2. So let's say each of them is a millimeter. That will be 7, and I can make, I don't know. Let's do 1.5 instead. 1.5. Make this. Oh, I'm totally forgetting about this. So I have to decide that now. 1.5 times 7. I need to do that. 1.5 times 7 is 10.5. So that would mean 13 minus 10.5 is 2.5. So this is 2.5. Then this would be 2.5 plus 1.5, which would be 3.5. I think. No, it would be 4. Then 4 plus 1.5 would be 5.5. And then 4 plus 1.5, or fuck, I'm already forgetting. 5.5. So that would be 6, 7. Then this would be 7 plus 1.5 would be 8.5. 8.5 plus a half would be 9, 10. So this would be 11.5. And this would be 13. That does look cool. I like that. And then I can just put Miku in the background up here. So I'm going to make this blue, I think, but like a different blue. Edit appearance. That should look good. And then what I should do is... not a center rectangle, a corner rectangle. And just make this like 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. And do the same over here. So this first one is... let's do 1.2. And then on the... oh, shit. I also have to... these have to be 4.8. So that they actually fit. I keep forgetting to give the tolerances to the different parts. Okay. I gotta get rid of this real quick, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to see. And what was this? It was 4.5? Oh, shoot. That's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to do that. Shoot. I did not think about that. I did not think that went through. Nope. It is these. Yep. And then I need to edit this sketch. And I guess I'll do it in the middle. And I'll do it like up 1. But I can have it be quite a bit, so... And 10's too much. Let's do 8. 8 seems to be perfect. Ugh. .8. Let's be 1.6. I think that pulls it down the 0.2 I needed to. I do want to get rid of these while I'm here, because I actually don't need them anymore. And 1.2. I should technically put more tabs on it, so I might do another tab at the bottom. Then on you... Oh my god, just click on the face. Ugh. What did I say? Oh my god, I keep forgetting my own numbers. Alright, so it's 7.8. So 7.8 would be 8.2. And then the 1.6 would be 2.2. Okay. Now on you, I need to make a new sketch. And you... So it is 8.2. 8.2. And 2.2. And then get this sketch out of here. And then extrude that down. Remove by, I said 1.2, so I'm going to add, so it'll be 1.5. That should be good. All right, back over here. I'm going to add in good to go there. And I'll do a fastened mate on this corner with that corner. And of course it is not correct, because why would it ever be correct? Oh my god. I get so sick of fastening stuff. It never works. Okay, so it is that corner. Why is it not long enough? It's like it's missing, like... Well, these aren't going to line up, but why is it so far off below? Hey, guns out. What's up? Was worried I wasn't gonna see you. Okay, finished. I think I need to edit this. Does that fix it? No? What the hell? Why is that off? $102.6? Why is it so far off? See, now it's too far off. Apply for community college. Good for you. And don't apologize. You are totally okay. 102. It's still off. No, we can't see anything you're working on. Oh my gosh. Okay. You can see everything I'm working on now. See, that's what I needed you here for. Huh. That is so weird. I don't know why that's clipping. 100.6? I forgot to... See, it's still off. What the hell? What's off with my math? Maybe just 100? Oh, that looks even worse. I'm going on the mech engineering. They offer mech engineering courses at community college. I'm surprised by that. All right, that I think is the amount of gap that I want. But I think that we're good. I think that's what I think that's the way that I want it to look. I think I got it. I'm very proud of this one. This was just an idea I had in my head, but it's looking really good. Can't wait for it to print and look good. No, I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm just shocked because I've never heard of a community college offering engineering. So everything in this assembly looks just a tad bit off, but that's because it's I'm accounting for the printer expanding the plastic. But so I guess Guns Out is one just joined. So let me explain this a little bit. So I have a bunch of Nendoroids. They're like plastic figures. And actually, you know what? Hold on. I'll just look up. Bum 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 bum. Bada bum 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 bum. Bada bum bum. I know you guys can't see. I'm looking up. So, for example, I just got to make sure that it's not leaking my information, and then Miku Dio. Okay, it doesn't look like it's leaking my info. So this is an example of a Nendoroid. This is the Miku Nendoroid. And so what I made is a... This is the frog shelf. Yeah, absolutely. So what this will do is, you see this plastic piece at the bottom here? Let me go to a better picture. So this plastic stand down here slots into this right here. And then all of the Nendoroids actually come with a bunch of accessories. This one doesn't seem to come with any of the face ones. But this one, for example, does. So you see how she has a couple different faces? So she has this one where she's like kissing, and then she has this one where she's smiling, and then this one where she's open mouth smiling, and then this one where she's like smiling. I don't think she has any accessories. Oh, she has a music note. My sister has Wonderland Miku, so they're none of these Mikus. I'm so nervous that I'm going to click on one of these, and it could be like... God, the tariff pricing on these are so awful. Dog, living in America sucks right now. These figures are so expensive now. Oh, no way. I just got this one, actually. I have this one on my computer. I won it at round 1. I'm so cool. Anyway, hold on. Back to this one. So back to this one. You see, she's got the little suitcase, all that stuff. So what I made here was, it's a stage for Miku to stand on, so that like the Nendoroid is well like shown off. But also, I'm so excited by this feature. So if I go just head on, it's a shelf to put all the accessories in, so you don't lose them. Isn't that cool? I'm like so excited by this. And then these will actually be tilted 45 degrees, so they're actually facing the talent. And then I haven't made one yet, but I'm thinking about making a microphone, because I found a thing online to take filament and run it through rollers, and the rollers will bend it so that I can make like a stick for the microphone out of a thing of filament. So I'll do that to make the filament. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to do. The only other thing that I was going to do is, I think on this face right here, I'm going to take it into Tinkercad and emboss Miku's face on it, so it looks like that picture that I'm using as a reference. Because otherwise it's just kind of generic with nothing else on it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this model. And then I'm going to take this, if it works, and edit it so that it can fit my HoloLive figures. And then I'm going to print a bunch of the ones for the HoloLive girls. And then I don't know what I'll... Oh, for Bochi, I have Bochi the Rock. Let me look up the Bochi the Rock one. Bochi the Rocko. Come on. Come on. You can load. Where's my Boker figure? Nendoroid figures. And can I filter it so that I can see the ones that... I'm just gonna look at Bochi the Rock Nendoroid. They just have them on eBay. They don't have the actual ones because they're not in stock. There we go. Good smile. So this is, I'm super nervous about like leaking my information or something. But this is the Bocchi the Rock one. She's unique because she has this one where she's like huddled in the blanket. So I will be making from the show. There is the stage that she performs on a stage. Like that's the whole thing of the anime, is that it's like a rock show anime. And I'm gonna add in the back, I'm gonna take these stairs out and I'm going to put up here the Starry logo, because Starry is the name of the place that they perform at. And I actually have a reference for it, which I will show. Can you nerd out on your major? So I have 2 degrees in 2 different engineering fields. My bachelor's is a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, and my master's is a Master's of Science in Environmental Engineering. And I'm currently pursuing my doctorate in Environmental Engineering as well. I just got the master's in case something happens with the doctorate, but I'm pretty stable on my path. But with everything that's been happening in the United States, I'm a little nervous. So that's why I have the master's. I don't talk too personally about this, but my funding was played with at the beginning of this year because it's through the National Science Foundation, the NSF. And so I was a little nervous for a second that like I'd lost my money, but with a little bit of revision, I have been okay. So here is the Starry stage for Bocchi the Rock. So I will be making an edit of this that maybe has a mesh over the whole thing instead of the one that I have here. And then what I might do is print a special top for it that does the like checkerboard pattern that's on their thing. And instead of, like, I might redesign it, but if it works, this will be perfect for most of my figures. And then if it works, I can make a new one for the 3 Nendoroids that don't fit with this model. So I'm very excited, and I can do a follow-up to this maybe where I make those. I don't know, though. I haven't really decided what I want to do. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. Oh, so yapping a little bit more about my... Before I head off for today, I will yap a little bit with you guys, if you'll have me, about my major, since you asked, Guns Out. It's funny when I talk to people about all the stuff that I do for the channel, all the 3D printing and stuff, and as you guys know, I'm working on a ton of projects with recycled filament. I've got the Recreator. I've been working on the Art Me and the Shadows for a while. And so when I talk to people, obviously I don't tell them that I'm Ace, because Ace is my secret identity. But I show them what I do. I just don't tell them I make videos. And they're like, oh, so you must be doing that for your doctorate. I'm like, no, my doctorate has nothing to do with what I'm doing. I'm just doing this because I believe in it. I'm basically doing it for, like, free. You know, on the side. And so I get so many comments where people are like, wait a minute, that's not what your doctorate is? And I'm like, no. For reference, or for like, knowledge sake, my doctorate's actually in right now. My dissertation is on water desalination, so it has very little to do with. It actually has nothing to do with I have been doing for the channel. So if you want a chemistry lesson, though, I am not basically, I'm kind of a chemist. I'm published in the American Chemical Society. I don't know what your definition of chemist is, but that's actually what I'm trained in. All the 3D printing stuff that I do, all the material science stuff that I know for 3D printing is from my bachelor's and what I did in my free time. Mostly self-taught. So it's very funny to talk to people about my engineering, like my professional life, and it is completely separate for the most part from what I do on the channel. Yeah, it was actually funny that I bring it up. I was talking to Kirby about it because Kirby obviously knows me in real life. And so I shared with him some of my publications and he was reading them and he's like, wait a minute, you're like actually like an engineer. And I'm like, yes, I'm actually like an engineer. Math and chemistry. Chemistry as a mechanical engineer, that's interesting. What chemistry are they having you do? Maybe what I should do is I've been tossing around the idea of doing a lecture as a stream, but not like boring. I don't want it to be like boring. I have an idea to make it fun, but I just haven't had all the pieces come together right to make it exactly the way that I want to. So I've been putting that off. But I have this really cool lecture about the world. Like, that's too generic, I guess. I talk about carbon dioxide because I'm an environmental engineer, and I talk about how carbon dioxide works chemically because it's very, very cool. Lone Star College Mechanical Engineering path. I'll have to look into that. Lone Star College. Let me look that up. Lone Star College. No way. Humble, Texas, and Liberty, Texas. Programs of study. Dun, 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 dun. Is this like, are you doing virtual? Engineering. Oh, wow. They have biochemical, civil, electrical, industrial. Interesting. Oh, it's an associate's degree. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I was so confused. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. But you take engineering statics, you take physics. Oh, you guys have to take physics too. I got to take Chem 2 instead of Physics 2. Physics 2 is... Electric circuits. I'm not surprised that Mechis take that. Mechanics of materials, chemical engineering, and thermodynamics. Oh, so you guys take thermo and chemistry together. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll transfer to a 4-year after getting the associates. Yes, that's what... I know a few... I don't know any in engineering that do that, but I knew a few business... My cousin got a business degree. I think his was actually in finance, which he always says is not business, but it's under the business department. Anyway, he got an associate's and then got a 4-year degree after that. I don't really know how that works because I never did that. But hey, good for you. Engineering's good. Good, solid path is what I've been told. Although I'm an environmental engineer, so things are a little tough right now. But you guys take Gen Chem 1. Gen Chem was fun. Gen Chem 2 is what got me into doing everything that ended up being my actual like future. But yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to yap on. But I took Chem 1 and I was pissed because I didn't want to take it because I'd already taken AP Chem. And then Chem 2 I took with the same professor. I will say, not to try and sway you, but being good at speaking is very important to engineering, which is how I justify this streaming and everything like that. I tell myself, well, it makes me better at communicating, which is vitally important for engineers. You would be surprised how many people you'll get in a class with that will just talk like like they've never talked to a human being in their life. It's crazy. I was like, there'd be some people and you'd just be like, buddy, is this your first time ever talking to somebody? Come on. I don't want to listen to this one. I want to listen to you. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's what I had wanted to say. I was like, why is Texas in my head? So I actually worked with one of the people that I worked with for my research in the beginning was a Texas municipal wastewater treatment plant. I don't know the actual name off the top of my head because Texas is so huge. I also worked with a group in Florida and California, in Red County or something like that. So, because I'm hoping to have my water treatment thing work in Texas and Florida and California, because we have been told by our partners in those states that they really could use our technology. So hopefully it works. But yeah. Well, I hope all of that goes well for you, and I hope you get a little bit of time off to not stress as much. I'm glad you stopped by today. So I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today, because I don't want to start the next portion of this because I'm over time for today. But I gotta look up those names. I'm not familiar with those names. Hold on. I think that's the governor. Yeah, that's the governor. Oh, is ERCOT the people that handle the electricity? I'm trying to remember from my civil engineering days. I'm pretty sure that Texas is the only state in the union that isn't connected to the United States electrical grid. They have like their own separate like weird electrical grid, which is why it keeps having trouble because it's not being updated. Oh man, infrastructure is one of those that I get so on my high horse about. Yeah, you guys have your own grid. And it's not just a microgrid, it's like its own grid. And that's why it keeps going under. Because infrastructure is something that we don't talk well enough about infrastructure in America. We think that like bridges and stuff last forever. And we don't need to handle them. Like we don't need to maintain them. There was a bridge in Maryland that one got hit by a boat, so that one's not really the fault of the bridge. But there was also one in Pittsburgh, I believe it was, that collapsed like a few weeks before the president visited. And it's like... Speaking of Roman concrete, so the Romans got very lucky in the way that they build concrete, because the way that they build concrete, this is my master's actually. I did my master's on concrete building, but they used ash from fires, so we would call that fly ash now. But if you ever have a campfire and you see the little like specks of like dust that come out of the fire, that's ash, and that's called fly ash because it flies. But Romans used fly ash and ocean water to make their concrete. And we're now finding those are the two reasons why Roman concrete is so strong, is because the calcium carbonate in the water creates an alkaline solution for the concrete, which stops the rebar from rusting and also just helps they didn't have rebar, but it helps the concrete live longer. Called swim ash. Thank you. Some people that might watch this VOD might not be as I like to talk to a broad audience. Some people might need a little help putting the pieces together. But there was a group that I was working with in Japan that was taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. And do you know what they used, if anything, for rebar? I don't know if they used rebar. I'm not an expert on like Greek or Roman infrastructure. I'm more in the know on the actual physical makeup of the concrete itself, because I was working with a group in Japan that was starting to use fly ash and calcium carbonate from the atmosphere. They were capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and turning it into calcium carbonate, and they were using the calcium carbonate in the concrete. The benefits of that: one, it makes the concrete stronger. Two, it makes the concrete cheaper because you don't use as much Portland cement, which is the highest cost of the concrete, because everything else is just like sand, water, gravel, which is all easy to find around the world. And then the third thing is it's really good for the environment because you are taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, but you're storing it because you're putting it into the concrete. So it's not going back out into the atmosphere. So it's like three-way really good. I don't know how much it costs, though, compared to traditional concrete. That's the only thing I don't have hard numbers on. But from what I've read, that's the key that made Roman concrete so good, was it used seawater. And it was because of that calcium carbonate. Fun fact. This is the last thing I'll end on. I feel like I give this fun fact all the time, so sorry if you guys have already heard this before. But, so calcium carbonate is chalk. When you eat Tums, I'm pretty sure you're eating calcium carbonate. In most Tums, that's the active ingredient. It's the same chalk that you like write on a chalkboard with. The reason that you eat it is because it's a base, and so it will help settle your stomach. It'll raise the pH of your stomach if you're having like acid reflux or something like that. So what happens is when, I'm gonna write this out so it makes sense. Yes. Oh, no. No. So, calcium carbonate. This is what chalk is. So I'm gonna draw a piece of chalk here. This is what chalk is. So when you heat chalk, like really, really hot, like with a propane torch, what will happen is you'll actually cause it to break apart into carbon dioxide and calcium oxide, which is hold on, I want to make sure that, it transferred. So calcium oxide is known as lime. Sometimes you can hear it called limestone, although this is when it's in a rock. So anyway, what happens is when you do this, it releases a ton of light, like a lot of light. So what will happen is it's this like bright, blinding light. So back in the day, they used to put calcium carbonate in lamps, and then they would heat it up really, really hot, and it would release this light, and that light would project and light up somebody who was on stage. And that's why they call it basking in the limelight. Isn't that cool? I gave a second there for everybody to let that sink in. I thought that was so cool when I learned that, because I research a bunch of stuff with calcium carbonate. But yeah. All right, well, with that, that's where I'm going to end off for today. That was a little teaser of how I lecture, and I if it was planned, it would be a little bit more interesting. Pretty rad. Hey, feel free to tell your kids that. And a lot of kids don't know what chalk is because we don't use chalkboards in most schools. Some of them know it from the sidewalks. That's why I talk about Tums, because Tums is the same thing. It's the same ingredient. It's just Tums is made to eat, or Tums are made to eat, whereas chalk isn't necessarily made to eat. So anyway, I'm going to wrap things up for today. Hope you enjoyed that little lecture at the end there. Hope it wasn't too boring, but it was a lot of fun for me. I like finding out these fun facts and connecting everything. But anyway, as for me, I have another short coming out tomorrow. It's another big one, so give that one some love. The one that came out yesterday was really good. It seems like people are really liking Miku Month, which is awesome because I've been really enjoying it. And then Friday, I will be back live, same time, 2:30 EST, and I will be playing modded Sonic Unleash with the Miku mods that are available for it. So one is it replaces Chip with Hatsune Miku, and then one is it replaces Sonic with Teto. So that one should be a lot of fun. I am very excited for that. So please look out for that. The short and the video, or short and the stream. I hope to see you live. All that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. We're so close to 500 subs. I really want to make 500 subs as soon as possible. I really would love to apply for a partner. But anyway, that's all the news that is news for me. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I had a ton of fun modeling today, and another big success, I think. This is going to look great when I finally 3D print it. So yeah, a lot of fun, and I can't wait to... Oh, hey, Justin. Thank you. I can't wait to see you guys in the next stream. See you on Friday. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye!